at some point you can start to experiment with those things. But the first thing we want to do in here is come over to video and let's set up our project size here, which they call it here our 7. But again, the default here is 30, so that's where I'm going to leave it. Once we've picked our canvas or got decent internet here, I'm going to bump this up. I would recommend select it. Now this is something that you can do a quick Google search to work out what the best bit rate is for the platform you're going to be streaming to. But as a general rule, the higher the bit rate, the better the quality. There is a point of diminishing returns, but this is also going to be capped by your internet speed as well. So given that I've got decent internet here, I'm going to bump this up. I would recommend something like 5,000 or 5 megabits per second if your internet can handle it. But obviously we can go much, much higher as well. The default settings here for a lot of this stuff is going to be great for most people. Again, unless you want to geek out or are you after something specific. So if you are going to be live streaming and you want really high quality music, then you can obviously bump up the audio bit rate or the quality of the audio here too. Moving down here under recording though, this is where we can choose where our file is going to be saved, our video recording. We can then customize up the quality. So we're going to keep it the same as what we've just set for streaming up here, in which case this setting is fine, or we can actually select here if we want a high quality, indistinguishable or lossless, which is a tremendously large file size. Again, I'd probably leave this here as same as stream, and this way whatever settings we've set here are going to be the same for our recording. We can also choose the type of file that we're going to be recording as well. So I'm on a Mac, the default here right now is an MOV file, but we obviously have options in here as well for things like MP4 or MPEG-4 files. And if this is going over your head, again, the default settings are probably going to be all you'd need. Now, if you're going to be setting up to record, then that's all we need to do at this point in settings. If you're going to be streaming though, this is where we can come over here to stream and we can select where it is we're going to be live streaming to, and obviously create that connection to be able to go live. So we can see here the default for us here is YouTube RTMPS. But you've also got things like Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and a lot of others. If we hit show all here, it becomes a really big list. There's lots of different supported places, or we can choose custom. And now, because I have picked YouTube live here, we can see we now get this pop-up here where once we go live, we'll see our YouTube chat. It says here, once broadcast has been created, your live chat will appear here and private broadcasts aren't supported. So we've got the chat here that's popped up and we can pick this up, we can move it around, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and a lot of others.
Tervetuloa. KCD. Shitty. Joo. Tänne kohdalla. Ei tarvitse olla. Kuulla omaa ääntäni. Mä en halua kuulla omaa ääntäni. Välttäis tää niinku... En verran mulle käyttää tää.
Bit longer without food and I'll really start to be grumpy.
this please. Sådär.
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
Greetings, Master Guard. Oh, so hungry I could eat a horse.
Syötään. Noin. Pesun pitää käydä ainakin. Tänne kolmas play, ruutaspelissä. Eikä oo hardcore ikinä, mä oon palannut ykkösenkin 2 vai 3 kertaa läpi. Mutta jotais nyt. Mistä ei oo iso? Greetings, baby. Tää vois syödä. Mä vete haluan ostaa.
The humans won't be coming back here. Don't worry.
Good. Peace at last. Until you get into trouble again, that is.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of the herbalman from Zhelyov. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. Pavlina still comes here from time to time, selling baskets, ointments and whatnot. I ain't seen her around in a while, though. Why are you looking for her?
She hasn't been home for a long time, so Bozhena sent me to look for her.
Ei miksikään tullut. Ei juttelaa.
Or Yezhek the Cooper. That old goat had his eye on her one time. Only she wouldn't have him if he was the last man alive. Can't say I blame her. That Yezhek's a drunken sot.
What's this Yezhek like? And what do you mean about him having his eye on Pavlena?
He wanted to get married, and no sensible girl around here would have a drunkard like him. So he figured Pavlina might be an easier bet. He promised her a home in the village, but the girl wasn't so dumb as to fall for it. He's hardly got 2 groschen to rub together, and his house ain't no palace neither. All she'd have out of it is a heartache, and a bunch of brats as pig ugly as their old man.
And where might I find this Yezhek?
If he ain't boozing here at the tavern, he'll be on the way here or at home.
Thanks. And do you think this Yezhek might have done something to her? Like the doctor, because she scored him?
Nah, he ain't got it in him. He's all mouth, but he'd never raise his hand to a woman. And even if he did, Pavlena would probably give him a hiding. Just recently he got a black eye from this skinny fella here. He's a weakling and a wretch. He wouldn't have a chance with Pavlena.
think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Božena's not too popular here since that misfortune with Yakesh's wife, Ludmilla. But no one holds a grudge against Pavlena. She was only a young lass at the time.
What was that about a misfortune with Ludmilla?
That was way back. She was the midwife. She'd give the women herbs and whatnot when they called for her. But then something happened when she was helping out at Yakesh's. His wife, Ludmilla, died, and a child was stillborn. A tragedy it was, and then Božena, she left.
Just like that?
Well, to tell the truth, we drove her out.
Oh? Why was that?
Better ask Yakesh if you want to know more. He's often by his son's grave. It's next to the farm.
What's the latest news, innkeeper?
Have you heard about the Divizhenka of Semeen?
No, I haven't heard that.
In the rocks below Semeen lived a Divizhenka. It's been a few years since she appeared here, but until now people have been getting along with her. The locals would sometimes even go to her for various magical salves and decoctions. But now they say she put a spell on one man and seduced him, a married man. And it happened now of all times, when the young Semeen is going to get married.
What even is a Divozhenka?
You haven't seen one yet.
Hello.
Divizhenka is a wild woman of the forest, an ugly, disfigured creature. You can find them deep in the woods or caves, where they make their ointments and gather magic. Semeen people. They were worried she might put young Lord Semeen under her spell, especially now, because of the wedding. So, they took care of her. And that's about it, I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
Te kulkeita hetki aikaa.
What's the latest news?
Nothing much, and I hope it's...
I'll have a...
Se on. 108.
Word about...
Aye. That's not... Aye, that'll...
No, ja.
Have you seen a young girl selling baskets here? Her name is Pavlena.
Isn't she the one that Yezhek, our Cooper, had his eye on? You could probably ask him. He used to go on about Pavlena all the time in the tavern. See you later.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Božena from Zhaleov. She comes here selling baskets and other items.
Aye.
Pavlena got any friends here? Acquaintances?
Maybe not dead yet.
There's Roman, who brings us wood.
Roman? Who's he?
A woodcutter like his father. May he rest in peace. He lives just off the green. His hair is red like embers. You can't miss him.
And Pavlena's on friendly terms with him?
Mm-hmm. You could put it like that. Roman's pa wouldn't be too happy about his son being with an outsider like her. But all he can do now is look down and weep. Not that Roman ain't a decent lad. Honest and hard-working. It wouldn't surprise me if Pavlena left her ma to be with him.
It's possible. I'll go and see Roman.
Do that. Like I said, his house is near the edge of the village, close to the pond.
Do you think anyone here would want to hurt Pavlena?
Troskovich is a decent village. You'd better watch your mouth.
What can you tell me about Pavlena?
She used to live here with her mother, but then we drove them out. She's not the kind of girl you'd notice much, but she knows how to take care of herself. I let her come round here because, well, maybe I've gotten soft in my old age. But I reckon children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' sins. Don't you think?
I heard something about that. Why did you drive them out back then?
Bojena was our midwife. It ain't the cleanest trade, but it's needed. Women all over the domain used to call for her help with birth. Only, as it turned out, bad help is worse than no help at all. I won't go digging up old grievances, but believe me, we had cause enough to drive that old witch out of here.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Buckle.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Virgo's men, and that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
Ja.
prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, the dragon is certainly much stronger than a lion, so I suppose he sided with the dragon, right?
Nonsense. Brunswick rushed to out the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry, and at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup, so it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armor come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armor of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, died on his way back to his king, specifically while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armor back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armor to the king.
Chenyek was broke. How come?
Because of building his castle. Trusky may be impressive, but it's too expensive for a noble. Even the king had difficulty paying for such a castle.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armor, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armor. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armor here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight. Each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And you don't happen to know where I could find the rest of Brunswick's armor?
That is difficult, lad. Not long ago, I didn't even believe it existed. I'd say each piece you find will lead you to another. But there's one more thing. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone. Behind whom yearn for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock. A subtle niche, yet deeper still. A place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still. Answers come to the wise, kicks to the stupid.
The Crone and the Maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Well, thanks a lot.
Hold on, I'll give you something else. Sir George, who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true, because I have a copy of George's order here. Take it, and now go.
I need some help. I'm looking for Pavlena, a girl from Zhelyov. She comes here to Troskowitz selling baskets and ointments, and she didn't come back from her last rounds. Do you know anything about her?
Well, I know the girl you mean. I've seen her with that woodcutter lad. Roman, I think. Try asking Dushko. He knows all the woodcutters. He lives along the way from the rat house to the butcher's.
How are things, Master Scribe?
What would you like to hear? I don't...
Well, Troskowitz isn't exactly a small village. People are probably doing well here, eh? And what's your lord like?
Von Burgau? My goodness. He knows how to keep order, just like his Chamberlain Ulrich.
Though, sometimes it's not so easy with him.
Are you from here?
No, I'm not.
So what are you doing?
The plague, bailiff.
Who's Ulrich? You see? So Ulrich is...
What do you... Let's talk about...
Sure.
What would you say?
We're nearly there. You see? I hope you'll be satisfied, my friend.
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
He's a bit peckish. Peckish.
Master Scribe? What do you want? I just came to see if you're working.
What does it look like?
Well, it looks to me that...
Come on.
What is it? Are you whistling just for fun?
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift. Have you seen a young girl selling baskets here? Her name is Pavlena.
No, doesn't ring a bell. Try someone else. See you soon, my friend.
Welcome. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked, and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
Were there any valuables in there?
You bet. Lord Simeon ordered all sorts of delicacies and precious spices from me for the wedding feast. And for Taylor Bartashak, I was carrying expensive fabrics to make dresses for the occasion. If you only knew how much coin I spent on this.
Aye, I saw it. Over there, beyond Zhelyov, right?
Why, that's it. Everything fell into the Kelchak pond. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
Sorry to hear that.
Me too, but... Well... What can I do? So, what will it be?
I'm searching for Pavlena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets. Do you know anything about her?
That herb-woman Bozena's daughter. I don't know nothing about her, and I don't want to know. They ain't welcome here.
Puhukaa jotain chatissa.
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Catherine. Herr von Berge does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I...
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trotsky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are a hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they're always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh yeah. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and... Your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others. They are all just gleiche Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. Ah.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of... That one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
I'll have a look at the wares. Word about the...
Do you accept...
That's too much. Frei. Nun komm mit. Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
Are you going to do laundry today?
Wirst du das tun, worüber wir gesprochen haben?
Ja, ja.
Well, are you going? You're not allowed here.
Could you tell me where we are?
Olisiko nyt vaan vähän varta unin paikalta? Vittu nää on giftaavaa. Giftaavaa. Jumalauta. Kommentoikaa kuuluuko mun äänet hyvin, toimis kaikki hyvin. Vastaan kommentteihin, antakaa ideoita mitä tehdään. Tää on hardcore, elikkä mä oon kuollut. Niin mä oon noin 3,5 tuntia takaisin ajassa. Missä onkin? paska hussiin kauan nakkoa. All over down. Täällä voi nukkua. Täällä. Very easy. Enää soutu, ei enää soutu. Vittu ne soutu.
Get out of here!
Susi. Mä teen pahamaisia juttuja tällä ajalla. Se soutuu huomenna. Se on eka sleep-lähtikö aikaa. Ja sen jälkeen I'm about to knock the shit out of that bitch. Boy. Ei se nyt herää heti. Mikä sä oot? Sori. Täälläkin askeli. Harkkarilla. Asa sen senkin jää. Oh. Hirveellä vaan. Ja mä saadaan sun bullet. Yes. Mä se viedä täältä hevosen kiinni. Sitä mä syön. Tosta kaikki näitä tyyppiä. No, embers for me. Smoked pork. Don't mind if I do, baby. Ja tää on nokka raas. En pysty juomaan. Jos mä istun ja loin kirjaa hetken aikaa. Se on just täällä. Mä saan ampua taas vähän paremmin jousipyssä. Tässä oli tormainen lämäkin laittaa, mutta hirveä on makea. Se ei sattu. Tää on ruoka, jaa kiitos.
There's nothing left here.
Tää on nukkui.
Looking for something in there? Dave?
Praise the Lord.
Compensation, you blackguard.
Oho, kasvit.
No, you don't.
Bitch.
No. Guards! Do something about that carry-on! Hey! You almost hit me! Guards! I need help! Ow! Are you looking for a fight? Wanker! Rule change!
Oh. Fuck you. Mutta niinkö tossa. Tässä hyvä. Tässä.
Someone ought to give you the cane for your thievery. Help! Help me!
Tää on hyvä veli. No, pitäisikö oikein aamua mennä? Puoleen. Meneekö tossa? Joo. Ai se vitu witch-hutti, että se vois käydä tsekkaa tässä. Täällä onkin. Siellä ei oo vielä. No. Aldo Abramsen turvailla. Karli. Saluti. No. This is a motherfucking robbery, bitch. Kraskol. Hell I want that shit. What the hell I want that shit else. Otetaan tätä saavuttaa, ois kiva. I want that shit. Räjäistä eikö? Power convert sprint on merkitetty. Food. Susia. Tai vittu villikoira. Tai vittu pollet, jos ediliiti uusiksi ja se on niitä. Ton droppaan. No. Mulla koiffi, mutta ei kollareja. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Joo. On tappaa nyt nää koirat. Ja vähän se koiran tappaa sun päällä. Vittu iso lämä kyllä, hei vittu. Tää koira susi ympäri. Nyt saatana sinä. Okei. Lähtis nyt karko ei. Kyllä. Kiinnitä.
Look out. I'm not up to this.
Oho, väin. Tää susi tapas. Vittu meni. Sopuja antanut. Tai kiittänyt. Mä olen sattunut. Predelia. Miten treasure? Aha. Tää on vittu, okei. Joo. Cool. Tämä on tälleen. Toi. Näiden treasure on tossa. Niin on menee tästä tuolla, siis toispuolella. Missä se oli sieltä? Witchin hut. Potter. Jos mulla on vittu bandage. Kuole. Et se oo tosi mihin tää seivas. Oh no, tää seivas kauas. Oh wow. Oh no. Nyt syö. No hei vähän tarvitse trollata. Oh yes. No eli. Auttakaa, sold the lion's crest. Semmosen karisman pitää. On tässä kyllä aika se karisma. Ei tässä kyllä. Niin se pitää nähdä tuossa tuonne noin. Secretive. I don't know. What the fuck? Mitä? Se ei legit nähnyt. Äänestä. That's it. Yeah.
I'm trying to find Pavlena, Bozhena, the herbalist's daughter. Do you know her?
I do. She's mixed up with the county sheriff. They both live on the way.
Jossa oli hevosvara nyt missä? Library. Food. Tänään hungry. No.
This one has a cross.